frustrated, you're going to want more crabs. And we don't have that many crabs, so I don't want to get you frustrated, so we're not going to start this off on a bad note. But I have 15 steps. I'm going to run through them real quick. As time go on, I'll break them down. You'll see me in the media, and you'll see me about. But the first thing that I'm going to do that never happened since the inception of Baltimore as a municipal corporation, and that is equally invest in all 14 city districts of Baltimore. Never ever has Baltimore treated its African American community equally. Never been done. The operation budget, the capital budget has never been equally spent in Baltimore. We're going through the residual effects of redlining. So I don't know who's familiar with redlining, but please, everybody Google redlining, and then you can follow my campaign and see what I'm about. And redlining was sponsored by the government in 1934 under the Roosevelt administration. And basically, it was real simple. The Federal Housing Administration drew a red line on a map nationally, and all those residents within the red line, they were denied credit. That's where most of the projects was built, and systematically African Americans were ostracized from mainstream America. Redlining, Google it, look it up. So when you go to every city, the basic blueprint is racial segregation and economic inequity. Every city, you have concentrated wealth and massive poverty. So, my name is Ralph E. Johnson Jr., and I'm running for mayor of Baltimore City. I'm running for mayor to demolish the social blueprint of racial segregation and economic inequity that has Baltimoreans living in third world conditions. And we already know what Baltimore is like. So my next step is I'm going to do development without displacement. As you know, if you look around in Baltimore, we're getting a lot of development, and we need this development because our city has allowed housing to go to ruins. Okay, so basically what's happened now is that the big developers are making backroom deals with city government, and they're developing these communities, but they're bringing in affluent demographic, and they're shipping African Americans out to ghetto counties. It's called gentrification. Also look at that word of gentrification. So when I get in office, that's going to stop. We're going to develop Baltimore with Baltimoreans in mind. We're going to keep Baltimoreans here, and we're going to try to bring more Baltimoreans back. And people say, well, how are you going to miraculously do all this? But see, a lot of people don't understand that the mayor controls the budget. The complete budget. Captain Pugh controls the complete budget. Okay, but the Chamber of Commerce, that our white business community, they decide who become mayor in this town. So when they spend $4 and $5 million to get you in the office, you got to repay them back. So that's been the course of our political arena thus far. The people are going to finance my campaign, and I'm going to serve the hand and feet, and that's the people. So I think my message is going to resonate, and the grassroots people, this is your chance. You said this that you want equality for the candidate in office. That's going to ensure that you get equality. I know City Hall, the City Hall know me, and I have the mental, political, and will and desire to enhance the quality of life of the 63% African Americans in the city. And nobody else has that desire to robustly do it that way. And I'm dead serious about that. So the next thing I'm going to tackle is education. Y'all know about the education situation. So our education system right now is $358 million under budget. And I was talking to Dr. Sandalise, and that's basically, this is what she said, that every system that she worked in America, where the demographics were mainly African American, Hispanic, poor whites, she's given a shoestring budget and asked to work a miracle. So this is basically what's going on. We're underfunded. The state, we get money from the state for our education system, but also the city is required to pay a certain amount of money to our education system. Now, our city pays less than 11% toward the education system. And to give you an idea of how sickening that is that all the other 23 counties, and I know you think of it as 24 counties, there's actually 23 counties in Baltimore as a city. They just often called Baltimore County. But all the other 23 counties, they pay 50% to the education. And we pay less than 11%. So we already know where our priority is. That's unacceptable. That's going to change. And we have more than enough money to do so. Another thing that with the education system, I'm in the city all the time, and I notice that a lot of these kids do not have a skill set. So one thing I want to do, I want to sit down with Dr. Condoleezza or whoever, Sandleese, or whoever is in office at the time, and we want to talk about a vocational curriculum in the school system, because I think that the kids need to learn some type of trade. When you have a trade and you're back against the wall, you have a skill set. You know how to fix cars, you know how to build a house, you know how to do something, but go out there and sell drugs. So when the school system fail our kids and they go out there, they don't have a skill set, all they can do is rob, shoot, or do something negative. But we're going to implement, like back in the day, we're going to implement a trade in the school system so our kids can have a skill set. Another thing, jobs. The reason that you have a lot of white or affluent demographics that's coming to the city because they want to be in close proximity with the jobs. It's a lot easier. So that's the same thing for low-income people. They say it's jobs, but yeah, it's jobs on the outskirts of Baltimore, in the counties. So our transportation isn't conducive to low-income people traveling on the transportation. So we want to put jobs in the middle of Baltimore City. And when you put jobs in the middle of Baltimore City, you break up a lot of the drug culture, you break up a lot of violence. That's still going to go on for a minute, but if you have that opportunity in the midst of that, slowly but surely the culture is going to change. So we want to, kind of change the culture. And I think you can do that with jobs. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants money. And everybody needs money. And the kids, definitely, they want things. Definitely. So here's another thing. I'm going to try to go through this quick, and like that you all may not know about it. It's something at City Hall called the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. The Affordable Housing Trust Fund was put into existence for low-income homeowners because the city council recognized the fact that a lot of low-income homeowners were leaving Baltimore. So they said, we're going to establish this fund so the low-income homeowners could get loans, tax breaks, so they can salvage their homes, so they can stay where they are and keep up the neighborhood. But because our mayor refused to put one penny in affordable housing trust fund, the houses are going to ruin. And that's the way they pretty much want it, because once the block is dilapidated,